Hello and welcome to What's Your Story? Today I have a wonderful guest. Her name is Sofia Falke, and Sofia is a speaker, a life mastery consultant, a best-selling author, a book strategist, and a coach. Boy, you're busy.
I know.
You do a lot of things.
Yes, and well, they're fun. So that's what makes it okay.
Yes. Well, when I first met you, you were a minister at the Unity Church.
Yes, I was.
And you've now moved on. I know you still do some consulting with some churches, like in Hawaii and other places in the world. But what are you doing now?
Okay, well, a combination of things. I have started actually one pillar, if you will, is book editing and being a book strategist with people, because that was coming to me organically.
Yes.
And that's fun because I'm a professional writer and I published a book, and it's Embracing Greatness. I'll hold it up so everybody can see it.
Oh, yeah.
A guide for living the life you love. And I enjoy that. I enjoy helping people take, and often by the time I get it, and you're in this business, you get a mess.
Yes.
And you make it a masterpiece.
Yes.
And
it's like a puzzle to me.
Yes.
Yeah, they bring their things into you to fix, and then you look at them and you go, oh goodness, this piece goes over here and this should go there.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes. I have rearranged a few books.
Yes.
And what's great is that people feel so good about themselves when they get the final product.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I'm all about is helping people express themselves and to bring out their greatness.
Right.
Because my company is Embracing Greatness International, and I believe that everyone has greatness within them.
I believe that too.
Yes. And the thing is, we don't see it in ourselves. Very often it's someone else that has to tell us.
Don't you find that interesting how few people really do understand their own greatness and have that confidence?
Yes, and we spend a lifetime being bombarded with negative signals, and depending on how sensitive you are, it's going to either shatter you or it'll just start eroding.
Yes.
Your self-confidence, chip away.
Yeah.
And I was thinking on the way over here, that's how so many abusive relationships start. The partner is all wonderful and supportive, and aren't you wonderful? And once they get into your life, and whether it's man or woman, because both parties do it,
right.
they start chipping away, and you don't even notice it.
No.
Until finally you feel miserable about yourself. So one of my goals in life really is to draw forth that greatness and get people to go inside and see it again. Because when you think about it, when you're born and you look at that beautiful little baby and all the possibilities.
Yes.
And what are the first things they learn? The first word is no.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. So we start early.
My brother thought his name was No Wayne. He did.
I like that. That's beautiful. But in addition to that, I've been coaching. When I first left ministry, that was my main focus. And so life mastery consultant, really it's helping people get again in touch with their greatness. So life mastery. Let's master where we are.
Yes.
And let me see, what else am I doing? Well, you mentioned that I'm mentoring a church in Hawaii.
Yes.
And that's fun. And I guess speak at churches also.
Right. But what are the underlying principles that make you who you are?
It took me a long time to really know what those were. I was fortunate that I was raised by parents that had strong values. So it was demonstrated for me.
Right.
They weren't perfect. However, they did give me a wonderful foundation. And every now and then I stray from that. I forget. It becomes depending on who I come in contact with. And I have attracted some abusive people in my life. And the good news is I see it before it really takes me totally down.
You said I've attracted. I kind of think those people are attracted to us because we're more positive. I don't believe that we really attract that negativity into our life, but I think they're attracted to us.
Yes.
And they want to be around
Yes.
us, but unfortunately for us.
Yes, and it depends on how strong we are. And it took me a long time to develop that strength.
Yes.
So that now, when they come near me, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Does it feel like their energy's pushing on you?
They're energy vampires.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like
Mm-hmm.
they're just pushing on me.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
They're not touching me, they're over there, but the energy seems to just be...
Yeah. No, I left an event early over the weekend because someone walked in, and there was no way I was going to let that person near me. I did not want to deal with it. So I left. And the people I wanted to talk to, I called.
That was
Afterward,
smart.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, so the underlying principles, getting back to that, is we live in an abundant universe.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are familiar with the law of attraction. And when you talk about energy, we do have a certain vibration, and you walk into a room and you know if it's going to be fun or if it's going to be a downer. You just feel the energy. And I believe in the energy of abundance. And the more we can draw on that, we do attract it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then, we have this mental mischief. The Buddhists call it monkey mind.
Oh, yes.
Because our thoughts are like monkeys going from branch to branch to branch. And I call it mental mischief in my book. And if we don't address it...
So when we're trying to meditate, is that when we get this monkey mind, or do we have it all the time?
We have it all the time. Well, I do. I don't mean to project on you.
No, I just wondered because, sometimes I'm trying to concentrate on something and my mind's just everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and when that happens, I have an inner conversation. Thank you for sharing.
Mm.
But I'm up to something greater.
Oh, I like that.
And then that helps me come back. And also, especially in meditation, is to come back and focus on the breath. Mm-hmm. Because we can't focus on more than one thing at a time.
Right.
Yes, so an abundant universe, and the highest vibrations are love and joy. And again, focus on that and find something to be grateful for in everything. Not grateful for the experience necessarily, but to find something within, to be able to have that sense of appreciation and gratitude.
Yes.
So I think that's basically it. And also, as you said, I'm a unity minister, and I believe that there is a power and presence in the universe. And it's all good, and let's plug into it.
Yes. Oh, for sure. For sure. And we need to do that, especially during this pandemic time when so many people were getting depressed and feeling lost. When I was growing up, my parents said you either have faith or you have fear, and you can't have both at the same time.
Exactly.
And that kind of stuck with me. So when the pandemic came about, I chose to go with the faith, but a lot of people I knew went with the fear. And I tried to help them through that. And sometimes you just can't because the fear is just overwhelming for them.
Yes, exactly. And they have to go through their own process. So when I run into that also, it's, can I be there as a supportive presence, even if they're not ready yet?
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Wow. That's it. So when people work with you or they attend your events, what can they expect to get out of them?
They can get, well, they'll get truthfulness from me.
That's not always accepted.
No, and that's something I talk about up front.
Yeah.
Because the importance of really taking the lid off of our closely held beliefs that we don't even know we have, and shine a light on them. Because when we do that, when we tell the truth, look, see, tell the truth and take authentic action. It's so expansive, because when we try to stifle it and stuff it down or hide it, that takes so much energy, and that's draining.
Yes.
So what you can expect from me, yes, is the truthfulness, and I do it in a fun way. And people who work with me for a while and do a lot of work on the phone, I'll be sitting at my end and I'll be chuckling to myself and I'll say, okay, that's a great story. Now do you want to tell the truth? And then there's a silence. It's like, all right. And I can hear them chuckling sometimes to themselves because they realize they're going down that path because we worked together long enough.
And they're telling themselves their story they've been telling themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we love our stories. So when you say, what's your story here, you're asking a different question than I am.
Not necessarily. I want them to tell the truth.
Well, tell the truth, yes, but when, we get into a story,
Yeah.
That means that we don't want to face whatever it is that's holding us back.
Right.
So that's one thing. You can, humor, because I think people learn better, and you've known me long enough. It's over 10 years now.
Yes.
I actually looked on my calendar. I went all the way back
really?
to when we first met over 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yes. And if with the humor, then that opens it up. Because if you get too heavy, people will shut down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And they'll get insights that they would not have had on their own. I know it works for me. When I work with people, I go to my mentors and coaches, and it's like, I did that again, or thank you for the reminder, or I didn't see that. And that's what I help people have, that kind of realization.
Right.
And I'm avoiding the word transformation. That is such an inside job. But I pave the way.
For them to find
Yes.
their own transformation.
Yes. And I offer a safe space. That's what they can expect out of me. Support and a safe space.
Well, I think people who know you know that you would never intentionally hurt someone or embarrass them or make fun or, they
Right.
know that about you because you're a kind person.
Thank you.
And so therefore, sometimes when I make smart remarks, I can be a smart ass sometimes. But,
Really?
But yeah. But the people who know me know that I wouldn't intentionally hurt them in
Yes.
any way. And so they just think I'm funny. But thank goodness.
Yes.
Because earlier in my life, I had to learn what was the difference between being funny and hurting someone and touching on, and that's...
Yes. I'm from the Northeast, upstate New York, and there's a lot of I have a lot of relatives in New York City area. We speak differently. We're more direct.
Yes.
And I have a dry sense of humor. And
sometimes people don't get it.
They don't get it. And I recognize sometimes I'll just be having a conversation with someone and it's another person in the group will start laughing, and I know they are from the Northeast.
because they
and then
think
another
like you
person
do.
is going, why are they laughing? So we do, and people think, oh, they're so mean when they go to New York City, and they're not.
No,
they're just very direct.
No. I had heard that about New Yorkers, about how they were just so rude and mean. And the very first time that I went there, I went with some other modeling school owners. At that time, I owned a modeling school. And one of the ladies was elderly, and we were walking down the street, and she fell down. She just had a seizure or something, and she just fell down on the street. And a taxi cab that was going by actually stopped, and the cab driver got out, came and helped us, put her in the cab, took her to the hospital, wouldn't let us pay him a cent. And that's when I thought, these people in New York are pretty kind. I mean, why are people talking about them like they're horrible? Because they weren't.
See, most people are kind. We just express differently, and so people don't see it. And I know I still have people say, oh, you have to get to know Sofia.
Yeah.
To see that side of her. And it's just because I'm direct. And
so tell us about your book, because what's in it? What will I get when I read it?
The name again, Embracing Greatness, A Guide for Living the Life You Love, I've got to get it out there, is truly uncovering those stories. The woulda, coulda, shouldas. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon a lot in our lives. And we get should upon I have exercises in here, and as you read it, every now and then in all caps, it says, stop! Because I know that you think you're going to go back and do this exercise later, and you and I both know that you're not going to do that. You're going to just keep reading.
So you must do it now.
You must do it now. Mm-hmm. So I have that conversation in the book, and I actually had someone we were outside going in for a luncheon, and she saw me in the parking lot, and there are some other people there, and I was wondering if she was going to attack me. She came up to me and she says, "Will you stop it?" And I said, "What?" And she goes, "You keep screaming in my head whenever I start to go down the wrong path." Mm. So that's part of what's in here.
Good.
Is really
she got it.
She got it, and it's to get clarity on what it is you would truly love.
Yes.
If there were no constraints, no money, people, resource issues, what would you love? And to write it down as if it's already happened. Mm. And then to become that person right now in your thoughts, in your words, in your actions. And then the world, the universe, other people really have no choice but to respond to that new person.
Yeah.
The person who
right.
you believe you are, even though it hasn't happened yet.
Right.
So it's one. So I'm helping people change their dynamics. I have in here a success formula. I call it the greatness success formula because I can.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mine. And they and actually it's available on my website.
I was just going to ask you, where can they get the book?
It's available on Amazon.
Okay.
And at embracinggreatness.com/products, I have a free download of that chapter on the success formula.
Wonderful.
And a lot, it is basics, but I think we need to be reminded of it. And I'm in the process that I have to do it for myself now for the new year. Because it's easy to let it slide. So it's I start talking too fast.
I do
this
that
happens.
too. I do, and then I think, why isn't my mouth working?
The purpose and the passion, and once we have that, and then build everything under, the support under it.
Right.
And so that includes the SMART goals. This specific, measurable, achievable but a stretch, relevant to your purpose and passion, and then time-based under that, and then taking the action. And part of that formula also is to eliminate the barriers. And those are usually our own thoughts.
Yes.
So all of this in the book is ultimately to achieve what it is you would love. First to identify it, and then I offer the tools to get there.
Well, I read the book, and I think it's absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're running short of time,
okay.
And so I'm just going to say thank you because it's always a pleasure to see you. It's always a pleasure to have you as a guest. And I tell the people how they can get in touch with you if they would like to.
Oh, good. I get to look at my own camera. Two things. Well, Sofia at embracinggreatness.com, and that's SOPHIA, and then embracinggreatness.com. Also, in January, I'm starting a new webinar series, which is Bringing the Joy Back to Living, 5 Keys to Relief, Renewal, and Resilience. And all the information will be on my website and how you can sign up for that.
Great. That's something I think I'd like to check out.
Cool.
And I will.
Oh, I would love to have you on.
Thanks. That would be fun. And thank you for being here with us today. And if you have a story that you'd like to share, you'd like to write it or share it with other people, well, stay tuned because we have an offer for you.
Yay.
Do you want to write a book, but you're not sure where to start? Well, what better time than now? You can learn how to plan, write, and launch your book in just 4 weeks. Writing and publishing a book can give you huge exposure, and when done right, will help you establish expertise and authority in your market. When it comes to creating and launching your book, it may be tempting to just dive into the world of writing and publishing, but this can leave you feeling scattered, uncertain of your message, and overwhelmed by your to-do list. This is why so many people give up and books go unpublished and stories go untold. Planning is the answer, and that's exactly what this e-course will help you do every step of the way. When you have a plan in place for how you'll write, publish, and market your book, the process is much more enjoyable and achievable. Go to my website now, judymoreo.com, that's JUDIMOREO.com, and learn how.